Hi, class. Okay, so I've had a few questions about the methods section, which I have referred to a few times, but I'm going to give you another explanation about the methods section. I'm going to try to show you, this is the example of research paper APA format that you have on Canvas. It's module 9, very bottom, where you're going to submit your research paper. There's this sample paper. That's where I'm getting this from. Also on that module 9 is this 2 surveys that we're using. You're all using the same surveys. Remember, I tried to make this much more simple for all of you, that you didn't have to come up with your own surveys. You didn't have to find your own surveys. So you have the 2 surveys that you're presenting as if you gave to the 109 students that I also have under results, same module. You have the results there. So you have the 2 surveys. You have the results from the 109 students that you gave those 2 surveys to. Remember, you gave the QR code to them. You walked around campus, found 109 students that used that QR code to take the 2 surveys. And now you have the results from those 2 surveys, which is that it says survey results. And then the next thing on that module is the results that you put into SPSS. That gives you your final positive correlation. It's a Pearson correlation. So all of that was done for you. This is supposed to be more simple. So you have all of that. You have the surveys. You have the 109 students and their results. And then you also have the SPS results that came from that data of the 109 students. The portion that you're going to get to on the method section is after your literature review. So this is the end of your literature review. All of this is the literature review, which you're going to be doing from those 3 peer-reviewed articles on self-esteem and the 3 peer-reviewed articles on social media. Again, you're going to have a little bit of a difference in your articles that you chose from other students. So your articles may have more of a focus on fear of missing out, or more of a focus on teenagers, or more of a focus on a certain ethnic group. They could also focus more on, maybe because of social media, the participants aren't getting enough sleep, and that's contributing to lower self-esteem. The sky's the limit on the intricacies of the different articles that each of the students in our class are finding and are using as a contribution to their paper. So you're not going to all have exactly the same thing. So your articles that you're doing a literature review, everybody's going to have 6, and you're going to be going through those articles and summarizing the research. You're going to be citing. So this is like a citation from whatever. This paper has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but this example, this is a citation because they're talking about information from one of the articles that they used. There's your literature review. It ends. You go right into your method section, which is going to include your instruments, your procedure, and then you're going to go into your results and then your discussion. So we're just talking about methods right here. So you're going to start talking about, so they're talking about the studies that they talked about above, and then they're going to go into the participants and the instruments that were used, which are your surveys. So you're going to be talking about the 109 participants that you used to complete your surveys, that you gave the QR codes out to so they could take those 2 surveys. And they were all IVC students, and you walked around and gave those QR codes out. Ended up with 109 students that took those 2 surveys. And so the procedure part, the instruments or the surveys, the procedure part is everything I just said. So you walked around campus, You gave out QR codes. It took about 10 minutes for the students to complete those 2 surveys. So that's the methods part section. And then you're going to go into the results, which again is that SPSS. You're also in the method section talking about the data you collected. So you have that portion. I'll show you where it is. Here's the first survey, here's the second survey, here's the survey totals. So in your method section, you'll talk about also what you came up with. Now, you could put all of this like on a graph if you wanted and refer to it in your method section and your results section, that like this is what it looks like, gathered from our data of the 109 students. You know, that you came up with a graph that shows this, and then you go to your SPS survey results and you talk about the positive correlation, you talk about the Pearson that it's a Pearson correlation, so on and so forth, which that's the results part of your method section. So the method section is including the participants, the instruments, the procedure, and then you're going to go into your results section and talking about this portion, the SPSS. I hope that's helpful. I feel like students are a little bit confused in that there are similarities in each of your papers as far as you're all using those 2 surveys. You're all using the data from the 109 participants. You're all using this, what I'm showing on this page, the SPSS results from the surveys. That all of that is going to look the same. I mean, you might write it up a little bit differently. Your graphs might be different just because of which, different types of graphs you might use. But those things are going to be the same. The things that are going to be different are the articles that you use, the little specific things that may be different. Like I said, if you focus on FOMO, if you focus on teenagers specifically, if you focus on certain ethnicities, and how you're going to come about that is from the articles that you're using. So the 6 articles you're using, the 3 from social media and the 3 from self-esteem, may be different from student to student. As a result of that, your literature review is going to be different and your hypothesis is going to be different. So the question that you're asking, that you're making into a statement in your intro, could be different. And so anyway, I hope that gives you a little bit of more explanation for the method section. I'm happy to hold a Zoom if you, as a class, would like to do that, if that would be more helpful. But I find that many students are not wanting to do that. In Pronto, I will ask that again. And then if you want me to do a Zoom, I can do a Zoom on Monday. I hope this helps.